Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is usually here, Casper. We are going to be looking at one of the favorite sectors at the moment. Yes, you have guessed it. It is uranium. The miners down under the ASX, still pulling back, getting crushed. Getting crushed is a big word here, but I can see on Twitter people is already hesitating the move here. But I want to show you again my thinking. URNM here. Just look at. I want to just I want to put it up somewhat simple, at least the way I see it. People here were just insanely bullish, at when we were at 50, people were calling for 100, 200 very easily. And this move here, we made it all the way up to almost 50, and people are already bearish again. That is actually a very good sign that people are still not fully believing in this move here that I think is coming. So yeah, it should be on the way. Nothing goes in a straight line, as I've been saying for a long, long time. Let's dive into the uranium miners in Australia. 92E, still. We have. I think you can go back on every video and hear me say the same thing. We are still not doing anything. We still can't seem to clear that internal golden and the 30 weekly. Until we do, you don't touch it. Yeah. That is just as simple as it is. Same thing here again, big move, and again we're looking for the blue neckline. Here you can see it, the neckline, to get taken out. Actually, it should maybe go a bit more shallow here. That might be a bit better. Let's keep it there actually. So as you can see here, now we're actually retesting the neckline and just want to get above that golden right here. 0.36, as mentioned previously, is the long signal for the stock. And the stop should be placed below the low here. If this is the low, then you place the stop below here. Not financial advice, obviously, but that's how I played these things. 0.36 is the level to look for that one here. H, alligator, still looking fantastic after we broke out of the wedge here, all the way up here, boom, coming down into the horizontal support at roughly 0.5. Let's go to daily. You can see here, we are just knocking on it here. Typically, that is not a good sign that you go down here and every bounce you see is smaller than the next. Not a good sign here. So will it hold? I don't know. I think it favors more downside, to be honest, but let's see how we do. Again, the 30 week is coming up nicely here, so the bottom will be found here or somewhere in this vicinity for H. Again, long term looks fantastic. The move here, one big flagpole here, and then a flag, and we are probably going higher. That is my take on it. Again, it's all about probabilities. Bannerman, same thing. Squeezy, lemon squeezy, and up we went here, and now we're pulling back into the first high low for a very, very long time. You can see lower low, lower low, lower low. This will be the first high low in the making. When will it happen? I do not know. But a higher low is what's most likely in the making here. You somewhat rarely see a major move up here, taking out, so many highs, and then you just go coming down again. Again, nothing is impossible, but that's not where I'm placing my money. You know that. You know that. Deep yellow, holding up nicely. Absolutely one of the stronger stocks, holding up the highs here. You can see we're coming all the way down here, and now we're still holding the highs, and looks fantastic. Again, we're waiting for a break here of that triangle high here at roughly 1.37. Long term, look where we are if that happens. I mean, we all have already broken out of that long-term golden bad boy right there, and yeah, could we go all the way down here? Sure, we could. For a full retest of that golden trend line, which will be a massive buying opportunity if we were to do that. However, break out from that $1.385 level, then you are in for a move. I would say the next stop will be roughly $2. So that's nice. BOE, Boss Energy, I think, as mentioned previously, we're going in to retest the highs over here at roughly roughly 4. I think the bottom for BOSS will be found at roughly 4. And we are currently at 4.3, so we still have roughly 7.5% downside, a downside target here, I think, for this one here. Again, long term, looks fantastic. Looks absolutely fantastic. You know, clear breakout, retesting, bull flagging, resumption. Again, the trend is your friend, and the trend is definitely up here still. 30 weekly coming up nicely. That's a lot of tailwind for BOSS Energy. Elevate, elevate. Retracing a bit deeper here than we were in a perfect world hope to see, but again, we're still above the 30 weekly, which is finally tuning up here, higher high. You can see here, checking out these two. And if we were to stop here, which I think we are making the higher low. And then we should be somewhat grinding it higher for elevate. Again, these smaller, it's only 100 million. So the timing and the technicals can be a bit skewed because of low liquidity and so on, but still elevate. For now, this looks looks fantastic. Obviously, if we start to crack down here below the 30 weekly, that's a warning sign. But for now, very standard pullback here. Should we try to add in a nice little fib retracement here to see how we're doing? You can see here, let's go to the 1 hourly. Let's see, it's just been a one-way street basically. And yeah, we just can't seem to find support. So maybe the 0.38 will hold. That's also aligned perfectly with the 30 weekly. But yeah, for now, nothing major has happened. This is Lotus, a bit of a messy one here. Again, we really want to, ideally, we want to take this bad boy out here for the long-term upside potential. But for now, I still think we're somewhat doing some sort of rounding here with the lows right here. Again, we have the green uptrend here, which is getting very much tested right now here again. But again, same thing, higher high. I think we're in for a higher low, but we really want to stop the bleeding now, I think. Hopefully the retest of that green breakout line here is the final low for this bad boy here. What do we have here? We have OKR. Still finding support at the 30 weekly, still, but again, we really want to see the upside now, because otherwise we start to dip down, which will not be a good thing. You know, the breakout here and then we're back into the wedge. That's never a good thing to see. You really want to see the bleeding stop here close to the 30 weekly and the upper trend line of the wedge. That's the ideal scenario. But for the past 2 weeks, we haven't done anything, and hopefully the lows are in somewhere around here and we can start to get back up again. Let's see, what's the 1 hourly? Yeah, you can see we have some sideways action here with a bit more momentum to the upside. So on the RSI, let's see. PDN have already done all the hard work. This is a major 15-year long breakout. We are just above here, going in for the first pullback after a 15-year long trend line. That is exactly where you should try to find to buy into, depending on how you play it here. You can see we're getting some sort of a wick here today. That's obviously nice. We still have the support from these highs over here, and we are finding some bidders here at the end of today, this Monday, for the miners. 30 weekly still coming up nicely. If we get that full-blown retest at roughly 0.8, that is a buying opportunity. But I wouldn't rely on it that we go that deep. Pen. Still getting sold after we came back into the into this bull flag right here, and we really want to see it to find some support, and then we start to grind it higher. There's still a gap here, which at some point will get closed, but that's typically resistance when you get all the way to the upside of the gap. That's typically resistance. So we still have some work to do. 30 weekly is coming down quite slowly, but yeah, let's see where we end up. Again, we need to take out this golden here before you can turn bullish, in my view. And that is still some way to go. until we get there. Definitely one of the weaker stocks for now. SLX, same thing. We're still in this blue flag here after we broke down from the upsloping wedge right there. And again, we want to take out the blue upper trend line here before we're bullish again. Until then, we're just consolidating and getting below the white resistance here will actually not be very good at roughly 2.65 in my view, because then I think you have made some sort of topping pattern here, and I think we're in for a deeper correction that could spell some pain all the way down to these highs here, between 1.5 and 1.8 maybe. That is not what you want to see. Our equally weighted ETF shows the bigger picture, and still overall it looks fantastically. Breakout here of that upper flag, upper trend line of the flag. First, again, the first pullback after a breakout is where you want to buy into. Higher high, and that means probably a higher low. And then we go for that, not in a straight line, obviously, but you go for the extra higher high here at some point. 30 weekly finally sloping up here. I think we're maybe we go for the full retest. Whoop. And yeah, then we will see what happens. But still, overall, it's okay. I think when we resume the uptrend, that's also when we finally break out of this sharply downward wedge here, when we have the equal weighted ETF divided by the spot price. So when and if we find that higher low, then that's also when this thing finally snaps to the upside and we have the momentum behind us from the breakout, and then we have the first pullback. That's when you buy in. Hopefully next week or within a few weeks, we can start to see some green weekly candles. Let's go to Bannerman just quickly here on the 1 hourly. Do we have some positive divergence? We do. You can see here at the final hour, we did get some bidders in, and we have some upsloping RSI. Maybe the lows are here, guys, maybe. But again, we have some trend lines that we need to, let's add it in here just for the fun of it. You can see it here. That is, in my view, when and if we take that out, then that's maybe when we see the lows here, we start to finally break to the upside again. This is on the 1 hourly, so let's keep it in, and we will check into it next week. Guys, thank you for tuning in. What do you think? Are we closer to our bottom now? Maybe not. Again, mixed signals all the way. But the funny thing is with the uranium market is that in the downtrend, all of a sudden you get a big green day, a 5% green day, and then you're off to the races and you will get caught on with your pants down. So that's really how it usually happens in such a tiny market here. Okay, guys, have a great day. We will see you in the next one, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, leave a comment below, and yeah, see you in the next one. Cheers.